The reason why technical writer is so insidious what is connected in each section and how are they wired and what else is needed there. It's a production and plan which keeps expanding.
It made shipping easier and cheaper.
Maybe they don't find it to do environment. It's a programming environment that you're into, for which you were at the pre-nuptial inclusion. At the current phase, you're in the programming of the
babysitter.
We're so close to pictures in our walls, we don't really want.
Maybe
they don't find it to do anything.
Already sweating. Slightly scared of the next 5 hours.
It's a projection. It's an experience of body, memory, go into varied houses, gather varied experiences, and share the
In a new age.
Little
Where
are they
everyone keeps saying
aware
that climate change
that
is an
those
existential
houses
threat,
themselves have their own histories
and yet they just
and
carry on like before.
influences them. These members are not of a specific body. They take a form of a body according to the house they go in.
If
Like
the
our
water on the
plants.
planet is going to run,
What are
rise
your
up.
desires?
That means
How and on which factors you create the world? Dance with us. What are the attributes? I am the shapeshifter, and I shift my shapes.
The reason why
It's
plastic
a
pollution
technical
as a
writer
problem is so
to give
insidious
what
is
is
because it
connected
doesn't
in
feel like
each
we're hurting
section
anyone by using
and
plastic.
how are they
It has
wired and
propelled us into
connected
the
and
future,
what else is
forming the
needed
basis of
there.
our technological
It's a
devices,
production and
improving our
plan which
efficiency in
keeps
the medical
expanding.
field. It made shipping easier and cheaper.
Maybe they don't find it to do anything, or this still was time to act.
That it actually makes people stop and
You have
think,
to
I
find
really need to
connections
have
and
this stuff, and that's probably the bigger impact.
stations because it's creating one environment. It's a programming environment that you're into, for which you were at the pre-nuptial inclusion. At the current phase, you're in
Made
the
with
programming.
babies.
We're so close to pictures.
Spoken around that they do not perceive me as a foreigner, and FYI, I am a foreigner. I have come here for the studies, and like this moment has really brought me something within me towards this person, because the whole path that has been made in order to be where I am, and the person who is pretty educated and is liberal leftist and is aware of the political situation as well.
And then after a while, he or she saw that you're like contributing, and because of that, he doesn't want to put you in the Ausländer corner anymore, because he can Leben
in der Welt bedeutet im Wesentlichen, dass eine Welt der Dinge zwischen denen liegt, die sie gemeinsam haben, so wie ein Tisch zwischen denen steht, die um ihn herum sitzen. Die Welt, wie jedes dazwischen, verbindet und trennt die Menschen zugleich. Was haben sie gemeinsam und was haben sie dazwischen?
But as well, like, then I realized in Austria the term Auslänner has a very negative connotation.
But they were like, they were out of the same material you have most of the lights. It's very like, it's not solid.
We are digitally creating it right now.
We had an architect, Art Deco architect that is, Oscar Mammerek. Oscar Mammerek story actually. You will critical.
Exactly what my expectation was for tonight, to host this awkwardness.
And Oscar did this creative. It was called Bild. It was called creative.
Ecological brief and see how to perform with it and see what the expectations of the participants, audience, however you want to call it, also does with that. Eco-grief, weird. So it's the energy shift in many layers and the kind of super...
I can imagine that this meditative space where we talk through the bodies and
rough
it's part of the concept, but it's also really part of
there's no better opposite of soft. Like, this is not a soft way to share a practice.
It's recorded or when it's
But I will try.
filmed, then it gets a certain worth, and that the here and now from the community together is less valuable than the result in the media. So it's getting a lot of questions.
It's different with different people, and of course we have our biases and contribute some characteristics to where people are coming from without really understanding it. So we can put it away, don't really think about it, or the one is the bad one, you're not like.
How to make a white man shut up?
Try.
It's the more correct term, but it doesn't make it better, it just makes it even more cruel. Because anything that's not exactly the way you're used to is to be distanced from you. Ausländer, and I think even most right-wing Austrians would have to agree, and they all like to go on holidays. As soon as they go abroad, they are Ausländer there. So in a term, in a way, it's a misleading term. So I prefer the term stranger, I don't prefer, but I prefer the term stranger to describe, what I think we are talking about. Because, there are people born and brought up in Vienna with Austrian citizenship, or in Vienna or Graz or wherever, with Austrian citizenship, and they are still considered strangers just because their parents, their grandparents, their great-grandparents grew up somewhere else, in Turkey or whatever. I think what it's also is that I lost less rent.
So, what does coexistence mean to you in your work and in your everyday life is the question. So, I never thought that working with other people would be so much about handling egos. I think like so often the issues and conflicts that emerge are not really about the subject itself, but about whether people feel respected in their opinion, involved, decisions, seen and appreciated.
Came with his show, his Buffalo Bill shows, to this
yeah,
garden.
for both working
Not
in
this
everyday
place,
life
but out there.
wondering
Yeah.
often
And you know, in the
like,
Buffalo
or
Bill
currently
show, sitting pool,
to what extent
that famous sitting pool,
I'm
had
actually like
to
myself able to
reenact his own
accept or
in the
tolerate
backdrop
like
of
certain
the
habits, characters,
so they took him on the show,
opinions,
and
like conflict with mine. I'm wondering also like whether I or other people should tolerate them, or
inside you will find an
not
unconscious
tolerating
knowledge
them.
about
Maybe
sitting pool being
it's
here
a big
as
reason
being
that
executed or being
we
forced
often drive a little
to
bit more
really
apart.
enact his own defeat. And
So
we
in
had
my
a
first
lecture
life,
here
I was
with Christian Face, who was back then very famous on cultural anthropology, yeah.
Things happened in my life.
And the head of the
went
Weltmuseum.
and did art instead.
And
Now it's
he's
a
an
mix of
expert
both.
in
And I feel free enough to
and he showed
do
us photos.
artistic research, like, I don't know, hyper-focus on the questions that I
and then
think
sitting pool with glasses.
should be spent on. And then it's also just
casually dressed,
nice to
strolling around in the end because he also
have the infrastructural support to do things like residencies, right? So I was lucky enough to study with a group of 5 people about glaciology and ecofeminism for an entire year. We prepared and we went on a day trip south to Rome for a week of residency. About 3,000.
why am I telling about this? Because Venedig in Wien, so this area here, also became on some occasion the part of this so-called ethnographic showcases.
About the history of those districts, especially as I lived in the second district for a couple of years. I mean, I know about the Jewish history, how many Austrian, German,
And especially in
Hungarian,
Austria, it's a really
Polish,
common
Ukrainian
thing,
Jews used
like
to live there.
with protests for
I know that it used to
Palestine,
be outside of the
Palestinians
city
are not
walls.
allowed to speak.
And that at
They
some point in the
interrupt
past,
them, they
like
don't let
maybe
them
around
speak.
100 years
Mind
ago,
you, we were saying that
was
for
like
years. And people who
discussions
are
around
joining,
summits
it's
or
not
like
about we're fighting for the same
so
cause,
we
it's
don't
not
know
about
to keep Jewish
being
people out of the city of
offended,
Vienna.
because we're fighting for the same thing, but
And
don't
of
try to
Jewish
take other voices
persecution,
from us, because this is how it started.
I know.
So it's no
what
disrespect, but it is this thing
Yeah,
that white people try to be everywhere. And it's a good thing if you're
I
there.
know about the time of like between 39 and 45 when Jews were persecuted there and just attacked or tortured in the streets for no reason. About like all the destroyed synagogues, about the deportations, and I also know stories about like how Jewish people, survivors of the Holocaust, tried to get back their apartments after the war.
It could be the other.
Maybe some of them never did.
Yeah, this is true. No,
Yeah.
you're right.
And I'm not sure, but I think today like more and more
In a way it is, because
Jewish
from
people,
the perspective
especially
of
like
Vienna,
Orthodox people,
the other, again, places of desire that we don't take seriously. We want to be there, we want them to be here, but we are not the same. They are not as advanced as we are, and so on. All these big city things that running around, and also Austria.
This is the Lilliput.
This is the Lilliput one, yeah. It's also Lilliput one. And this is actually a shop.
I I just want to like to share an anecdote. We had a protest in Python, and at the end, like the finishing place of the protest was like the square where a lot of like illegal immigrants wait to get like their residence permit because it's really close to the police office. And so at the end, some of these immigrant people that arrived in Italy like 2 weeks ago joined the protest, and they got some chants in like Arabic, and a lot of the white people there got kind of scared because they didn't know what these people were saying, and it's a bit crazy that you're fighting against colonialism and then you get scared at the end because you feel excluded during like a 1 minute chant, and it's a really diffused thing, I think. Like a lot of people kinda tend to distance themselves if they can't be at the center of the thing, especially white people obviously did this. And so even with art, I think a lot of like the new like indigenous inspired art started when actually indigenous art started getting to Western markets and stuff. That was mainly the idea.
But for example, the Kulturhauptstadt opened in Participatory. I later asked ourselves in a way like
smaller. That's near self-puppetizing.
And then you are also harmless, and if you are harmless, you cannot be blamed. You are not guilty of anything.
It's like, he has like 600 stories together.
I mean, there are a lot of cuties inside. Yeah. Nah, this is. You mean? Okay.
14A station.
I mean, you don't want to see.
And that maybe not being able to accept and tolerate others makes one maybe a little bit lonely. Yeah, that's why I'm trying to accept as many people as they are, as long as they are tolerant as well. Yeah, I think it makes me more calm to accept people as they are, and maybe eventually also.
And then your role is very, you're very powerful. It's, I don't know, as a host, what is it to be a host, or what is your function? Because you're going to ask people to come and say things, and then to let them. And then, I don't know, I felt it as a kind of joke and dark aggression, but it is something, what are you hosting? Are you hosting the discussion? Or are you hosting the people who are here? So it's questions I have.
This is a rough estimate. It it doesn't say Europe or global north or anything. It's a weird estimate number, but it does something with me emotionally anyways. Not have these strange statistics. Who cares?
Facilities really define how we are together.
2 decades ago and
the
now.
darkness and the amount of
Anyway,
people, all
so
these
like
kind of
that.
things, who knows each other and who
I
doesn't
learned
know
the
each other,
technique
who's invited,
make them
who's not,
visible.
so many
Visibility is one of the
conflicts
easiest,
happening in this space.
most softest maybe ways to the law that we have to use this basic communication apply is the first layer of estrangement that takes away the softness of the space. Chemical, I was only able to acquire over my department at the university. It's not,
I heard some
very
stories
much
about
into
him.
opening things for the public,
Yeah.
and then it was open for the public, but still the nobility used
it's
to
dissolved in
horse parades.
liquid.
And before that, it was owned by
Under
the
UV
emperor
light,
as a hunting
I
area.
can see a reflection that's happening then with the Nile red treated plastics.
Cool.
And basically you can see white dots. If you look behind you, Sarah is showing some of the images I created under the microscope.
Volksstimme Fest. I've been at Volksfest, but
No, the FLUCC party in the end of the summer with the cashew is flowing.
yes, in Innviertel. But
No,
not
in Wien!
no, in Innviertel I've been.
In there is no party thrown by the Communist Party, thrown by the Communist Party.
It's thrown by FPÖ. no, I've not been.
Es gab ein paar Situationen, wo ich was machen wollte und dann aber gesagt habe, stopp. Ja, und das Berühren oder diese Petrischale da berühren, war dann auch wieder wichtig und da kann ich mich erinnern, ja, also es war für mich ein bisschen, ich habe ja am Anfang so nicht auf da gestanden, dann wollte ich noch was beim Mike sagen, dann ist aber die Musik angegangen, dann habe ich halt aufgeschrieben, das finde ich dann auch in Ordnung war, auf der Grenze. Ja, das ist ja, genau. Und dann, was ich sehr gemacht habe, war diese Garderobe, oder Ultra, und hier oben war es am Podium, das ist das Gespräch. Ja, also das hat auch voll gefallen. Und was ich interessant finde, war, dass du das gute Publikum voten hast lassen und dann, je nachdem, ob es viele oder weniger waren, war es dann richtig oder falsch, wolltest du da provozieren. Das fand ich interessant gefunden. Also das zu tun, ist mehr oder weniger, kann ja genauso falsch sein, weil viele da waren, ne? Aber was ist schon richtig falsch? Das ist halt interessant. Was mir auch gut gefallen hat, war, dass du das Publikum gefragt hast, was wollt ihr jetzt, was braucht ihr jetzt, ja, ich habe eine Musikseite, also auch Musik bekommen und noch eine Musikseite. Und, ja, ansonsten, es hat mich nachdenklich gemacht darüber, über Rassismus wieder mal und überhaupt weil ich halt dann gehört habe, ich habe auch gesagt, ja, und was ist das Problem beim Rassismus? Dass jetzt du bist zum Beispiel, oder betroffen bist, nicht akzeptiert fühlst als das, was du bist, ein Mensch zum Beispiel, ja, sondern du wirst ausgegrenzt aufgrund irgendwelcher Klassifizierungen, die dich unterscheiden von denen, die rassistisch sind. Und dann habe ich mir gedacht, ja, aber dieses Gefühl hast du nicht nur du, dass du nicht akzeptiert wirst, so wie du bist, sondern dass du